Ready, Stace?
Ready, Darce?
Here we go.
It's our big hit.
Twins.
Sisters, sisters, there were never such devoted sisters.
Stacey is the one who's always got my back.
Yeah, Darcy's love life, that's a lot to unpack.
True.
Caring, sharing, every little thing that we are wearing.
House of 11, we've had lots of guy trouble, that's well known.
I've got a fiancé and she's alone.
Wow.
All kinds of weather, we stick together, the same in the rain or sun. We got tight faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Take it, Darce.
Manifest our twin power.
Scooter bapa dee bahada
Adapata, do the twins. Apadapa, hot to go. Ooh, my boobs shake when I do that. Ooh, ah.
Manifesting time.
Yo! Welcome to Reality Gaze presents Darcey and Stacey.
Darcy's DNS.
Season 2, Episode 8, Reckless... I can't talk. Reckless Exes.
We're
nice
we're
shirt
in
on you.
Turkey. Thank you. We're in Turkey.
We're in Turkey. They land in Turkey.
This isn't about plastic surgery. Not at all. Self-love. Self-love. Letting all the negative go. New personalities. Start fresh. My question is, why did they wear those horrendous boots
I don't
on
know.
that plane if they knew they were going to be
feet
tied
were
on
gonna
their feet?
swell. Feet swell. Can't walk.
Y'all, this was straight up Cartoonville, this episode. This is my favorite. When this show embraces, especially the producers, embrace the cartoon
This
nature
is
of
when the
these
show
two women.
soars. It just soars.
Like their feet.
Yes,
Sores. Have sores on them.
Y'all, like just them, they arrive at this villa. It's beautiful.
Trying to be in the present moment.
I don't really know if it's a villa. It's just an
They
Airbnb.
call it a villa.
It's like a VRBO. It's
Yeah.
a nice.
They call
They're like, oh, it's a villa, Silva Villa.
And it's decorated in just your basic.
I mean, it's fine.
Luxe
It's
style.
pretty. Although, y'all, there is news. Daddy Silva just bought like
He bought a mansion.
9,000 square foot
Yo,
mansion.
Daddy Silva's got lots of money.
He's killed people.
Yeah, definitely.
But I bet you, oh my God, I bet you next season, I bet you they're all going to live in that mansion.
Yep. So, y'all, the biggest issue here is Daddy Silva, now I'm saying Daddy Silva, but Darcy does not want to tell Stacey all that's going on
Put on a
with
brave
Georgi.
face right now.
And they're in Boudrin for veneers.
Yes.
And they just what happened just to get them here. The music. The show should have been accompanied. Like, it's just so ridiculous. Them carrying their luggage, having to pee,
Gotta pee. And then they walk in and Stacey goes, oh, I feel the energy shift.
and they're both like 4'11", just falling around on their
Peaceful.
big heels. It's just laughable.
And then there's a cat in the house.
Like, oh, gonna get her. And one point,
And
and Darcy's
Darcy
like,
goes-
she's like, oh, she's hissing at me.
Because her voice,
Yeah.
I would hiss too if I was going,
And Stacey immediately retreats to the stairwell because she's allergic. Because apparently being 5 feet from a cat will make your face swell up.
and with Darcy squelching at her, I can't even, her poor vocal cords.
And at one point, Stacey's like, put some mayonnaise on your finger.
Yeah.
The cat will get it.
Okay, mayonnaise. Kids like mayonnaise. Huh?
And so anyway, thank God the cat hears their dinosaur voices and realizes the cat needs to leave.
They put cheese on the pet, and Darcy goes, oh,
It's good cheese. Gourmet cheese. It's good cheese, kitty. It's got a gourmet kitty cheese.
She's like, she's going out. She's on the patio. It's fine. She'll know. She's a lab of luxury. She's gonna be a good place for the cat.
oh,
And y'all,
it's so good.
so Florian calls, and he says,
Stacey's
"Oh,
like,
my
"Hey,
boo boo,
Florian."
my boo boo." He's like, and he says to Darcy, "Hello, my sister. Hello, my sister."
Oh,
And do you notice this? Stacey had her lashes on, but Darcey didn't. Like she's already planning on going to bed.
Yeah. She didn't wear them on the flight.
Wow.
Or she took them off during the flight.
Can you imagine what that was like? So y'all,
can you imagine how many like little? There's always.
It looked like a nest of spiders.
They even talked about on the plane. Stacey was like, "Well, really couldn't sleep," and it shows Darcey. She's like,
Darcey was moving around all the time.
Around and tell sister, y'all, they were in the. They didn't fly business class, or they were fucking flying coach.
They were coach to Turkey.
They went coach to Turkey. That's a fucking 12-hour flight.
How
at least?
How don't they have enough money to buy business class?
As much as they've traveled back and forth for dick across the pond, they should be mileage plus like platinum members.
Y'all, here's the thing. If you've flown over 9 hours or 10 hours, coach is miserable. It really is. I have to keep getting up. If I don't have an aisle seat in an international flight, I'm going to kill somebody.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I will find a way. I'll offer a gate agent $100 to give me an aisle seat.
Okay, well,
I have to be up.
Guess we're not flying together because I don't want to get arrested for bribery.
Money talks.
Wow.
Money's almost louder than dick.
That's fair. So y'all, they're talking, and she's and finally she's like, Stacey says, I want to show you my room. So she goes show the room, and she kind of, it's beautifully shot. You see Stacey kind of walking on her phone, talking to her husband.
And Darcey starts spiraling immediately.
But immediately, instead of spiraling, she just goes, and kind of breathes in, and then she breathes
because she realizes she's
out.
Alone.
And she's like, this trip is about being the best version of myself.
It
is, I want to say, we are laughing. I will say, y'all, it's fucked up that to be the best version of themselves means to change their bodies.
Yeah.
We get that. We get that that's fucked up.
But at the same...
But it's also their choice and the way...
It is their choice and their bodies.
And the way they feel empowered by, so doing this.
And do we think they look better in their newest iteration, their newest volume, if it will, volume 5? I don't know if they do.
I don't. It's hard because they don't.
I like them here that we're seeing them.
I don't. They don't look like Darcey and Stacey to me anymore.
Yep.
I actually think you said this and I agree. Y'all, they were already famous from a brand. Y'all, here's the deal. We've got to, if you get famous, don't change your nose.
No.
Changing your nose changes your face. And now they don't look like themselves.
That's the problem.
So I think that's why people are reacting so much. It's not that they don't look, it's not about pretty or not pretty. It's just like, well, that's not Darcey or Stacey.
And people are also saying, boy, they got botched by this. And that's one way of thinking about it. I think this is exactly what they wanted.
They said a Barbie nose. Their nose looks exactly like a little cute like Penny Barbie nose.
It also doesn't help that they filter it to the early morning with seeing Jesus on the way.
But yes. Mm-hmm. All the disciples behind him. It's very filtered.
They take it through the Barbara Walters filter 3 times.
Yes.
And the Drag Race season 1 filter.
Season 1 filter.
So the next scene we have...
What show was I watching the other day where everybody else was in hard HD and every time they focused on that person, it was just like blurred. Who? Oh,
riveting.
Oh, Judge Judy.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you watch Judge Judy, y'all, she's in like 280 IP, and everyone else is in like fucking 4K, looking rough.
She's in 420.
Yeah, because my dad watches her.
I'm sure.
Yeah, tell him.
I think she's going to be done with that show soon. She said, yeah,
she's fucking rich as shit.
So, Georgi and Florian, because they have nothing to do, are playing soccer in the snow.
Someone's playing soccer in the snow.
And Florian's like, this is stupid.
I'm freezing, Georgi.
And Florian, I like when Florian says, like, you were sleeping? Georgi said, are you sleeping okay? He's like, it's nice, so I sleep long.
Sleep long. And Florian says he doesn't like George. It is really, really sweet and endearing how much Florian has taken to Darcey.
Yeah.
And feels this, she is my sister, we are family. And he says, I don't like the way Georgie is treating my sister-in-law.
Yeah. He says things like, it's basically saying Georgie's bothered because we never really said goodbye. And we find out he lost his grandmother. He's really concerned about the anesthesia and the surgeries.
Yeah.
He lost his grandmother, never woke up from the anesthesia. And he's like, when I came back, she was no longer there, and I couldn't say goodbye. He's crying, y'all.
Yeah.
Georgie does have emotions.
He does.
He just doesn't show them very often.
He doesn't.
I kind of think Georgie's a good guy.
I don't see where... I don't see it where he's scamming her.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't.
If so, he's playing a really long game.
And some people, if my mother is scared of anesthesia.
Well,
So
I mean,
she,
it's-
her
it's a-
cat
it's a-
died when she was in junior high. They put the cat under for teeth cleaning and then never saw her cat again.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Southern stories.
Cat, I think her cat's name was, Kitty. It took me a bit. I think it was Kitty. I don't remember. What was the name of her cat? I'm going to have to ask her.
Well, I stopped caring about 30 seconds ago, so we're great.
That was her fact. They used to climb trees together till my mom climbed up in a beehive and then all the bees stung in her mouth and in her nose and my mom
Jesus.
fell off the tree. She's scared of bees too.
Just a life of fear for your mother.
Don't let her drive over a bridge.
Oh, God. So, Georgie's basically saying things. Yes, she's been talking to Octavia, and Florian's like, that's not good to talk to exes.
And Georgie says, I feel like she acts like I'm her enemy and not her fiance. And I went, that is a good way to conceptualize what Darcey does to men. She gets them close to her, and then they're against her. They have to be against her.
The next thing, Georgie talks about he's going to see her exes. He's going to go talk to her exes. And Florian's like, no,
No. Well, Georgie says it's hurtful that she keeps talking to Octavia. Now, look, y'all.
It is shitty that she's still talking to her.
Do you think Georgie wanted to talk to
No,
Jesse?
this was production.
I think Georgie seems like the guy. It's hurtful for her to talk to Octavia, so he wouldn't talk to Jesse.
This is production.
I think it is too.
There's no... Production says, Georgie, here's what we're going to do. She talked to Octavia, which one of them would probably come up with. Stacey probably came up with that.
Yeah.
And because of this, would you talk to Jesse? He's like, absolutely not. I don't want to do that. And they're like, here's what you're going to do it, Georgie.
Darcey probably told him to do it.
Probably.
And Florian, he says, Darcey, good woman. He's a but she talks to my ex.
So we're back in Turkey.
And then Florian, this is what he's doing. She talked to this girl. Who fucking cares?
Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares?
So y'all, it's the day of the
If
surgery.
I ever meet the real Florian and I do him to his face,
he won't
he's
get
like,
it.
what is this bullshit?
He's like, huh?
I would do verbatim his Santa Claus rant.
It would be, I was going to say, he would look at you like that producer when she said Santa Claus comes on Christmas.
Yeah.
You fucking joking?
He would have no...
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So, y'all, it's the day of the surgery, and as Darcey says, day one of my transformation, mind, body, and soul.
They are...
Stacey walks out, and my boyfriend watching this show, he went, "Oh, bitch got her track showing."
Her
'Cause that's what it's called.
extensions.
That one in the back, and Darcey does her dirty.
Yeah.
Her sister should cover that up. You know what? I'm going to say this. If your hair tracks were showing on national TV,
You would
I wouldn't cover them up either, actually.
Thank you.
Never mind.
You bitch.
No, I would. I would because I know when we watch this on television, you would destroy me for not correcting
and it's
you.
all people could talk about. So they're basically talking about Georgie, and she's saying that he's trying to make me believe things that aren't true about myself.
It's
Again,
not good that Stacey's just feeding her what she wants to hear.
they both do that for one another.
Yeah, they really do.
They kind of create this feedback loop for the other. And when Darcey is in a bad place with Georgi, she says, maybe he'll leave you,
Yeah.
or maybe he's cheating on you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not the one for you.
And Darcey always like, well, Darcey always says that, well, I wouldn't put up with that if I were you. I can't believe you're putting up with that.
Yeah, and so it's
a shame.
It's tiny microaggressions from either of them.
Micro-shaming,
because
yeah.
here's the thing, you guys. They love each other so much, but also there's like 20% abject hatred.
Do you think it's hatred or do you think it's just twin competition?
Maybe it is that. Tit for tat. Tit for tat.
Tit for tat. I don't know how you could be twins with someone and it not be competitive.
Well, there's a bitter rivalry to a point. And Stacey says this
it all
later
goes
on.
back to a guy, I bet.
Yeah. Well, Darcey's the older twin. So Stacey says things like, I haven't told her that Flory and I are trying for another baby. And this has been months. I'm shocked that she hasn't. And she says, I'm worried that Darcey's going to be upset that we couldn't be pregnant together. Now, I thought, that's a viable concern.
That's a viable
because
concern.
Darcey would get upset.
And if
and that sounds ridiculous.
She would, because she would take that as her and Georgi aren't as far as long.
Right.
She doesn't even have a commitment. Georgie's probably going to want kids, and she's not going to be able to give them
Yes.
to him. So she's going to worry about, I think. Now, if Darcey shows up in a different way, then
I doubt it.
then put a hairpiece in me and slap me with some coffee that I don't like.
Yeah, they're not liking the Turkish coffee.
Well, Darcey's like, Stacey's like, ugh, I don't like it. Darcey's like, it's classy.
Very European-y.
Very European-y. Put your finger up.
At one point, she does say, we're off to get Hollywood smiles. Hollywood smiles.
Hollywood smiles. And I love, y'all, just when I just have to notice this. Darcey's like, they're outside eating. She's like, we normally don't eat breakfast, but
It's delicious.
Pretty good. Did you see the way how difficult it is for them to eat fruit because their lips are so
They've had so many fillers. It's very difficult to eat. It's like Anfisa. Anfisa has a hard time eating.
She does have a hard time eating.
So they're talking about in the moment. Remember, like, Darcey's saying she had veneers, and Stacey, I think this is one of her first times getting veneers. Maybe that's what it is. And
Darcey's had it. Stacey has not.
Right. And Darcey says, and they were talking about, she's like, I got veneers a little bit ago. And she's like, yeah, remember, you got them, they weren't good. They were very Dracula. Like, I could see your incisors in your fangs.
No, they were just, wait, Stacey said,
Very Dracula-y.
Dracula. Didn't you, no, they weren't. No, they weren't. And then Stacey said, didn't you like get a coupon for that? No, Stacey, I did not get a coupon for my teeth. I didn't do that. I did get just at the front, that's all I could afford.
That was a different time because they can afford it
And
now.
then she's just sitting there looking at the camera going,
Y'all, she read her sister
nodding her head
on television.
We still have to post that on social media.
Oh, I need to.
She's nodding as Darcey.
So Stacey's very nervous about there was one thing Darcey says, I just really have the best smile because I really never had the smile that I thought I deserved and I wanted. What does that tell you? That she has some ideal for herself, you guys, that she'll never attain.
Because they were nerdy girls. You can watch this show, I think, in two ways, this episode. Y'all, they talk a lot about plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. They talk a lot about their bodies. They talk a lot about what they want to change. If you're just looking at it from the surface level, you think these are vapid women who they're shallow and that nothing is skin deep, more than skin deep. But if you actually watch this and say, what is this
telling us?
for?
Yeah.
And honestly, some of their conversations were kind of the most kind of human, like compelling,
especially later,
in a weird way, sweet Darcey and Stacey moments I think we've ever seen.
Yeah, I agree. So y'all,
color me surprised.
They're at the clinic in Turkey, and they're walking through.
thinking what's happening.
Again, they look like complete and utter cartoons.
They
just stumbling around in there, have way too many clothes on.
They have way too many clothes on. They
got way too many accessories, too many hats, too many belts.
Yes. And way too many accessories. So, y'all, they have to get
their teeth filed off.
They have to get their teeth filed off. And
I couldn't watch this. I had to fast forward.
I
could not.
And so
I could never handle the sound. I talked about having veneers, mostly because I grind my teeth and I'm worried I'm going to have nubs later on. And as much as I have my mouth guard, I can tell my teeth are shorter than they used to be.
Do you feel like, well, you would just have to want to go to the sleep dentist where they knock you out?
I would have to. I could not hear it. I could not hear the sound of my teeth being ground down. No. And they showed it. And they showed it. I had to fast forward.
They showed, and again, y'all, I don't know a lot of people that would put themselves like this on television. No. Y'all, because Darcey, they nub her down. Darcey kind of looks like if Gollum from Lord of the Rings,
the tongue was just flicking around.
Yeah, if Gollum fucked a Cabbage Patch doll, it would look like Darcey, just kind of like wide cheeks, and she had these nub teeth, and she was just
talking
like,
kind of like this.
It sounded like Bojangles. Okay, hey everybody,
no, poor Granny, no.
Hey, get some veneers. I had some veneers once, and then I was doing one of them scenes where a bunch of old guys just put their dicks in my mouth one by one, knock my tooth out. Because I'm pulling, Granny.
Oh, God. Still the worst thing is the teeth sucking at the end. So they're saying, like, new Darcey.
I mean, she even calls Florian, and there's like blood in her mouth.
Florian.
I kind of expected Florian to have a bigger reaction. He was just kind of like,
he was low. His blood he did go to a transfusion.
Oh, he needed to get a transfusion.
So they're talking. That's when they're talking about boobs, and they're still lit, y'all, from this anesthesia.
They are. They're actually. They get home, and what does Stacey say? Stacey's like, "Oh,
I want my boobs round and high.
It's like I have a lockjaw.
Not that's grandma boobs.
A lockjaw. I can barely move my mouth. You know what? We're going to talk about this right when we get back from the break. So they're home, y'all. They're sitting on this couch. Again,
I don't want grandma boobs.
Okay, so they have this conversation. Where are my notes?
This conversation is so indicative about who they are. They want
Stacey
to be
said,
young.
I feel like I'm a ventriloquist.
I feel like I'm a ventriloquist dummy.
But yeah, sorry, go ahead, Poodle.
They don't understand the concept of either aging into something that's not them now. Their idea is becoming the perfect version of themselves as they get older physically.
Yes,
which we all know, you guys. Yes, maybe that is it for you. And some people go the body mod route, but there has to be a point where the inside changes as well.
Well,
and they're hoping that the outside will change.
They want to do an outside-in approach.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
where's
Darcey from Darcey we knew 4 years ago?
I know. And
I don't think she changed.
Both of us are to the advocate of saying, if it makes you feel better about yourself, do it.
Oh, I'm getting a 50 facelift for sure.
However, don't you need to do you can't just do the outside work. It doesn't happen.
No.
I don't feel
like
you
don't even have to do the outside work. You have to do the inside work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do that. Because
I don't think these two are ever going to do that.
You know, it's not. Ironically, this is like way inside. Sorry, home health minute, y'all. But I see this with my dad, and my dad's doing better, y'all.
Is he going to get boobs?
Yep, he got COVID, but he's going to be fine now.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at your father getting COVID. I'm laughing because he's Job.
Yeah, because everything. He's okay. He's past COVID, but like now we have to wait till the test is negative so he can start chemo again. It's like such a fucking ordeal. But what I was going to say, and I've told Poodle this. My father is someone who never worked on his. He kind of almost like Ethan Plath. He would get upset. And he'd go out and do the job, and he'd work on something.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk about emotions. He doesn't process emotions, really. He does, and I'm not saying my way is the better way. He does things a little in his own way, but his way is he grew up poor, and you fight through it. You have strong-willed. You pull yourself through it, and you just keep going. You keep going. You keep going. And I think a lot of people do that. And Darcey and Stacey do. They change their outsides, but they just keep going.
Yeah.
But y'all, what happens, and I'm telling you, your childhood trauma and your adolescent trauma catches up to you.
It doesn't leave you unless you actively sit in it.
And I've seen it almost at points, my father be so stubborn because he's so locked in traumatic ways, it almost kills him.
Yeah.
So you're right. Like, you have to work on those young things.
Yeah.
Sorry they got dark.
So it did.
Someone's just crying in their Tercel right now.
Yeah, exactly. In their Camry.
Yeah.
Just had to
Do
pull
they
over to the
make
side
a
of the
Toyota
roads.
Tercel
No,
anymore?
It's done.
Well,
So
a Geo Prism.
we also find out that Florian shaved her and Stacey's entire body.
So yeah, let's talk about. So they talk about the boobs. Let's get Stacey's
Don't
like,
want
I have
grandma boobs. No
she's like,
teardrops.
A teardrop. I want round. Yeah, I want a round behind. Don't want grandma.
They want young.
Like, did you see how Darcey said, "Yeah, I want a round behind. Otherwise, it covers your belly button." And Stacey kind of looked at her like, "Mine don't." And Darcy's like, "Yeah, me neither."
I don't know what I was saying. But doesn't it feel like their goal for their 50s is to look like they have these artificial 17-year-old boobs?
Yeah, I think they want to look like Amanda Lepore.
Exactly.
And y'all, that's a really deep gay
it's
reference.
It's a very gay. I think she's trans. I think she.
She is.
She's officially called herself trans.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I
Good
think she would call herself trans.
And so, I didn't even know that they were born male. I thought Amanda was born female.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter either way. No matter what, they are an icon in like gay New York nightlife.
But talk about body modification.
Y'all, if your gay friend in New York hung out anytime with Amanda Lepore,
you heard about it.
You heard about it, and he's done coke.
And probably harder drugs.
He ended up.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little cocaine. Don't do it past 30, y'all.
Okay, yeah, that's not the views of reality, guys. So, but that's where Stacey's talking. They kind of like, you never hear Darcey and Stacey talk about just getting older.
No, because this is the way to prevent it.
And Stacey, that's when Stacey says, like, Florian has to, what does she say? Put the brass on, or what does she say? Or put my bras on me. And Darcey went, what? She's like, yeah, he's got to put my bras on me because my boobs are so big. He has to snap into the back. And then he
shaved my boofy.
Your what? Boofy.
My boofy.
Boofy. That sounds like a.
She's like, is it hairy?
Sounds like a hairy. Sounds hairy.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it sounds like. Booey, huh? But
so,
you see what.
And Darcey went, that's actually sweet.
But that's actually the beautiful thing is you see is that y'all, we all want someone who will shave our boofy.
I want someone who'll shave my boofy.
We do. We want someone who will do that for us.
That's true.
You want someone that when as you get older will do that shit with you. And I went, wait a minute. Is that why we never talk? But I wonder if that's why they both want younger men so much because they want someone to take care of them.
Yep. And Darcey's like, wish Georgi would do that. And then she's like, I still love him. Then we hear what she thinks.
She's like,
they're still on that Annie, y'all, that anesthesia.
I mean, she did say, geez, Georgi, he doesn't do it. He gave me some dinky massages and combed my hair out. And I was kind of like, well, that is shitty because he is a massage therapist. However,
that's a job.
Everyone that I know that is married to a massage therapist.
You shouldn't expect massages.
says that their massage therapist spouse gives the worst massage.
Yeah.
It's like people married to a nurse say that their husband or wife that's
worst
a nurse
patients.
give them the worst care. They're like, just suck it up. Mm-hmm. So I think she's in good company on that one.
There's a little bit with
You love him. You love him.
with
No matter what.
with Stacey and Florian, or Stacey's telling Darcey, she does say, "Oh, your relationship's still very negative."
Oh, yeah. By
She
the way, y'all,
says-
they're saying this whole conversation.
With like blips that really don't work that
Stacey
well.
really can't even talk at all.
really work that
She's like, Georgi says my boofy. I went, what?
My boofy.
My boofy.
So boofy. So boofy.
And then they do the whole Music Man Shapoopy dance. Talk about the most useless character in a musical ever, Marcellus. Give it up for a dancer who needs one song.
I mean, y'all, I think there are 3 times that I've never seen you laugh so hard in my life.
Family Guy,
and
Shapoopy.
it's
That's
when
Shapoopy.
Family Guy did Shapoopy, and you
Did the entire
season.
Susan Stroman sequence.
You laughed for like 40 minutes straight.
I did that. And then when you fell and broke the floor.
That made you laugh as well. you
Yeah.
know?
Mostly
Yeah.
because it made you seem like really fat. Because you broke the floor.
Yes.
That helped.
Yeah.
And so they're Stacey and Florian are talking, and he's like, "Your teeth are perfect." And they're getting their lab results back tomorrow. And Stacey says, when I heard about the cyst, all I could think of was my brother because he
Michael.
died of cancer.
Yeah, he had a very rare
Yep.
type of cancer, and she's like, and it's weird because she's talking to Florian, and she's saying
He's not
she's saying,
hearing her.
I can't talk loud because I don't want Darcey to hear.
Right.
So it's just she's having
I
to
will
lie to
say,
her sister about
Stacey
it.
does have to handle her sister with kid gloves more than Darcey handles her.
It is ironic that Darcey's the older sister,
Yeah.
but Stacey, you always think of Stacey as the older one.
Yeah. No, it's true. Y'all, now we get to the most produced scene
Oh, I forgot about this.
of the episode.
Y'all, Georgie's cooking, and he's like, since she left, I miss her.
The whole apartment smells like human growth hormone at this point.
He is
And chicken breasts.
He is so attracted to me, though. I don't know what it is.
I feel like his breath smells really badly. Like,
I can see
it's
that.
just kind of foul and always sour.
I get that. I
Um,
want you to think about his dick.
I'd give him a certs. And Papa certs, Georgie.
I don't even think they make
They don't.
certs anymore.
They don't. I'd give him a Vela Mint. One of those chocolate ones. Throw him a Vela Mint, just pop it in his mouth. We don't have to think about that.
And Andy's.
Have a Vela Mint, Georgie. Yo, if you still got Vela Mints around your house,
We're old.
come at me.
We're old. We're old.
Vela Mints.
Vela mints.
What the fuck? Anyway.
Well, I want to say something where, Florian's like, you don't need, no. Stacey says, I appreciate Florian's positivity, but I need to be heard.
Which
And
is
she's like,
fair.
I feel alone, and I need Darcey's support.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
she's
we'll
going to
see.
tell her next episode.
So Georgie's cooking with his breath.
So basically, all you need to know, guys, is she's like,
oh, George,
He's
well, you're the one that
I
did
do,
Jesse.
I do Jesse, and Jesse kind of rounds his
You
words.
started that with Florian.
I did a little bit of Florian. Georgie, it's good to see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good to see you now and connect.
It's good to see you, y'all. Jesse doesn't give a shit about Georgie. He's just happy to be on television.
He
again,
is,
to
and-
hawk some type of thing on his Instagram.
And Georgie says, I hear so many times about Jesse.
And Jesse's like, did she contact?
He's like, did she contact your ex-girlfriend?
Yes, actually, she did.
And Georgie says, what is the
I had
result?
to give her my phone.
And then we find out that
She did
Jesse
that with
said,
Georgie.
I was questioned every day. I had to give her my... And Georgie says, Darcey does this to me. She makes me give her my phone multiple times.
Now...
But then Georgie has this... This is why I think he's a good guy.
Yeah.
Because Georgie says, and I realized that's not about me. Mm-hmm. I realize...
Her trust issues aren't just me.
Her trust issues are not about me.
It's all her.
They are deep-seated, and it helps me understand her more. And I went, you really love her.
I know. That was when I did a complete 360 on Georgie.
I laughed like a smoker right then.
Y'all, if you're
a Lalu fan.
If you know the way we've talked about people talking about doing a 360.
Oh yeah.
You know, and it's usually Lalu people who say done a 360.
People. Yeah.
Because they're not smart people.
They're not smart people.
But anyway, Jesse says, I will tell you also that she was dating me while she was seeing Tom, and we compared messages. Now, I will say, both Jesse and Tom are pieces of shit. So they are both unreliable narrators here.
And then I love Georgie just says, yeah, he full of bullshit.
He's not a cheater.
She's like, one thing I know about cheater. And I will say, at first I went, wait, does this add up? But y'all remember, she said Jesse was treating her, because Georgie brings up, Jesse was telling me, he said, I know how bad the relationship is. I know how bad he was to her.
Right.
Darcey said she was talking to Tom as a friend.
Yeah, as a friend.
And maybe it was more, and but I don't think, maybe there was some emotional cheating because she couldn't talk to Jesse, but Jesse's
a sociopath.
Yes.
We all know. Yeah. There's no one who's team Jesse.
No.
In this world.
If you're watching this going, Carl, I think Jesse got screwed over, Carl.
Wow.
Oh. Shooter, go get that picture of Jesse I burned. Go get that picture, Shooter. Go get it. I'm going to mail it to my gays.
I want to do his new supplement he's talking.
Does he have a supplement?
I'm sure he does. Come on.
He does have an ass that I would toss for hours.
He has a nice body.
But that's about
he's one of the most terrible people on the whole 90 Day.
And then Jesse.
It's like him, Big Pred.
Big Pred.
I don't know.
It's like, and then Jesse says, Georgie doesn't ask, he says, at the end of the day, she has personal issues and you need to realize you just don't work.
Yeah.
And Georgie's like, yeah, I don't need that advice.
I'm good. See ya, Jesse.
He says, this is normal. I don't need I wanted this conversation so I could be more understanding to her.
Yeah.
And Jesse's, I'm only here to see if you need anything to help with. Put me on TV.
I need your help.
And Georgie said, I realized he just wanted to hurt Darcey more than help her with this.
Amen.
I think, Darcey, don't fuck this up.
I think she's going to pretend to flip out that he's talked to Jesse.
I only hope that she's...
Because she already knows.
I hope she says, I can't blame him. I talked to Octavia.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
That's the show.
That's the show, y'all. Thank y'all. Hey, again, if you are listening... the live show goes on. We're going to announce our live show tour, a mini tour next week. A turlet next week. Y'all, we're going to announce it, and then tickets are going to go up quicker than you think. Remember, we're just telling you, we're not famous enough or even popular enough to have big venues yet. So that's why we're selling out. So our pre-sales really sell a lot of our tickets. So if you are really jonesing to go to these shows, y'all, I would highly suggest getting on the Patreon.
It would behoove you to be a Patreon or Supercast member.
Because they're going to have access to the pre-sale several days before. So that's just the way it works. So anyway, y'all, so follow us on Instagram, Reality Gates Podcast. Go to realitygatespodcast.com for more information about that. Follow us on the Twitter. Y'all, remember, if you want to travel all the way across the world, you want to get your face done, you want to get your boobs done, you can do all those things. Poodle, there's just one thing you need to do to get it. And what's that, Poodle?
Manifest it.
Lord, help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord, help the sister that comes between me and my man.